Welcome back to Sean's show, everyone. I'm here with Connor behind the keys. Give it up for Connor. Thank you so much for being a listener. We are broadcasting to you live from the greatest city in the universe, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We are in Riyadh. You know, a lot of comics, they went to Riyadh a few weeks ago. I decided I'm kind of more indie. You know, I did like more of an indie thing at like at a dive bar. A lot of comics, they did. I can't get over this story. A lot of comics are doing theaters for the royals. You know, I was more doing like an indie underground kind of thing at the back room, Riyadh backroom comedy. No, we are in New York City, the greatest city in the world. I am pretty upset that I was not invited to the New York Times Deal Book Summit, which just happened recently. And if you're unfamiliar, that is where the world's elites talk about their plans for you. So it is of all of our interest to pay attention to the New York Times. It's called the New York Times Deal Book Summit. It should be called "You Will Own Nothing, You'll Own Nothing and Be Happy." That is what it should be called. Our plan. Yeah, throw it up there. Let's see. The New York Times Deal Book Summit features all of the best people, the hardest working, most visionary people on earth, including Erica Kirk. Give it up for Erica, everyone. We're going to hear from her today. Another fun interview that was done that we're going to maybe watch is Mr. Beast. Senor Beast did an interview with Andrew Ross Sorkin. The New York Times Deal Book Summit happened, and that's just where Andrew Ross Sorkin asks Erica Kirk about how sad she is that Charlie's dead.
Halle Berry was there?
Scott, that's crazy. What is Halle Berry's tagline there? Founder of Region?
Respin.
Respin? Filmmaker and I'm so autistic, I don't even know who Halle Berry is. Is that crazy? She's a musician, right?
Oh,
actress?
Come on.
Sorry.
She won an Oscar. She was
Okay.
a Bond girl at one point.
Oh, really? I knew. Yeah.
She's great.
So, congrats to her. No, congrats to everyone that was on because there's so many. David Ellison, Larry Fink. Oh my God, how do we miss Larry Fink? Alex Karp, ding ding ding, and Gavin Newsom. So many people were interviewed by the New York Times, and it really, which we'll get into, but it's giving Hunger Games. It's giving Snow. It's giving District 9 or District whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's been a while.
District 12.
Is District 12 the really poor one or the really rich one?
12.
What's what?
One is the really rich one.
Okay,
the capital city.
Yeah, the capital city. The Deal Book, the New York Times Deal Book Summit that happened recently, it's giving Capital City, District 1, Katniss Everdeen romance, very well produced genocide. That's like the whole, which is insane. It's like insane to watch. Yesterday I watched Andrew Ross Sorkin talk to Mr. Beast about his content for a half hour. And I can't believe I didn't commit suicide. I watched Andrew Ross Sorkin cross his legs and hold paper. Let me do a little impression. So, which I think we should start. Here's my impression. Andrew Ross Sorkin interviewing Mr. Beast. So, do people call you Mr. Beast or should we call you Jimmy? And then Mr. Beast goes, well, if you're over the age of 10, you can call me Jimmy. It's insane. It's an insane interview. And it's not just Mr. Beast, by the way. Mr. Beast, did you guys know this? I didn't know this. It doesn't surprise me. Mr. Beast has empire aspirations. This guy is not a YouTuber anymore. He's not a YouTuber anymore. Mr. Beast is starting a bank. He's starting a bank. Okay? He's starting a telecom. Mr. Beast is going to be a weapons contractor. Mark my words. Mark my words. In 5 years, we're going to have Mr. Beast a collaboration with wait, we're gonna have Mr. Beast tomahawk, Mr. Beast. We're gonna have Mr. Beast tomahawk missiles getting sent to Iran. That's what's gonna happen. YouTuber, listen to this shit. Just listen, because the arrogance of these people is just truly unlimited. It's truly unlimited. Listen to this headline from the Business Insider. YouTube star Mr. Beast is moving into financial services. Now, I don't think that's, to me, I'm happy. I'm glad. If there's one thing I don't know about you guys, when I use a financial service, what I'm always missing is I'm like, I wish there was more content. Can we put more short form content? How can we put short form content when I make a deposit into a bank account? What's a big pain point? The big pain point is that when I deposit money, I'm not forced to watch a train crash into a giant pit. And that's what Mr. Beast wants to do. Mr. Beast wants to make it so that if you want to deposit money into a bank account, you have to watch one of his videos where he explodes a bunch of TNT on a child. Mr. Beast's whole idea of a bank is to give you, like, if you want money, you have to buy Feastables, by the way. If you have to buy a Feastable, Mr. Beast, what he wants to do is create an economy where if you want money in the future, you have to, it has to be like a golden ticket from Feastables. That's how you get money. This is Mr. Beast's idea of what his vision for the world is. Like, little kids in Africa, he's building wells for them. And if you want money, you're gonna buy a Feastable, you gotta get a Beast Buck or whatever. That's probably what it'll be called. And you deposit your Beast Bucks into Beast Bank. Okay? And then that allows you to buy Beast food and breathe Beast oxygen, because Mr. Beast is going to own you. And this article says, listen to this. Mr. Beast is looking to launch a financial services platform. Oh, could you scroll up real quick? This is insane, just that first bullet. Listen to this shit. Mr. Beast is looking to launch a financial services platform and a phone company, Beast Mobile, which I guess is a play on Boost Mobile. So now we're at the point where the guy who figured out how to get little kids addicted, the founder of brain rot. Mr. Beast is the creator of brain rot. And we will jump into the interview, but I just want to just highlight Mr. Beast and his CEO, by the way. But here's the backstory, you guys. This is crazy. Mr. Beast hired a CEO to run and operate Beast Industries. Why is that important to you? Because the CEO of Beast Industries, he is going to tap Mr. Beast into the world's global elite. Mr. Beast hired this guy who's like a Wall Street veteran, just an old school fucking cigar smoking, just a fucking investment bank, just think of Mad Men. Mr. Beast hired that guy from Mad Men, whose name I forget. Who's the main character? We don't know. That's okay.
Mr. Matt?
Mr. Matt. Basically. So Mr. Beast hires this guy, and this is capitalism, right? When you are so successful in your market, you are forced to diversify. And for Mr. Beast, what that means is he's creating, let me just read you this. Mr. Beast says, this is the CEO, Jeffrey Hausenbolt. He goes, "We're also launching a phone company, Beast Mobile, and a financial services platform in there, wrapped in financial literacy and access to the world's information, in making sure we're doing good while doing well." Now, what does that mean? It means that he's going to give away the phone to kids in South Sudan, and that's their first market. That's what he left out. He goes, "We're starting a phone company, okay? And we found that our biggest market it's in South Sudan." The kids, and that's the crazy thing is Mr. Beast is he's figured out that a video of a train crashing into a pit is universal. And that I got to give him props because I'm also a YouTuber. I don't like that. I would never call myself that, even though I just did. But he's the guy. The people that hold the keys to the world are truly some of the scariest people because crypto, listen to this shit. A mobile app and online services for a range of banking, financial advisory, crypto exchange, and other services under the brand Mr. Beast Financial. So, I mean, I really can't emphasize how insane it is that a guy with no soul, this guy has no soul, by the way. We can all agree on that, right? Have you guys ever seen a Mr. Beast video? Has anyone ever watched a Mr. Beast video? If you look into Mr. Beast's eyes, you see nothing. You see darkness. You see people. If you really truly look into Mr. Beast's eyes, you see little kids drowning in melted Feastables chocolate. Okay? That's what's going on inside this guy's head. And let's take a look at the interview because I want everyone to know I don't just shit on Palantir. I also shit on the media conglomerates and the next wave of media moguls, which is Mr. Beast. So let's jump to maybe the middle area when he invites the CEO on stage, because that's where it gets interesting. Yeah, right around here is great. Let's just take a little listen because this is crazy. Let's watch.
Okay. You want to have an IPO at some point, I imagine?
At some point, we want to be able to give the 1.4 billion unique people around the world who has watched Jimmy's content in the last 90 days a chance to be owners of the company.
Okay, so before we get into it, how did you guys meet? How does this relationship work?
So the CEO of Beast Industries goes, we want to give the 1.4 billion people that watch Mr. Beast the opportunity to be owners of the company. It sounds like you want to dump your ownership onto a bunch of 7-year-olds. That's what you want to do. Mr. Beast is getting interviewed, and the guy, Andrew Ross Sorkin, which is his name, I think. Aaron, whatever, fuck. I don't like the way this guy crosses his legs, by the way. I don't like a guy that crosses his legs. You uncross your legs, okay? You're a journalist. You sit properly. So the journalist asks, is Beast Industries going to IPO someday? And then Mr. Beast CEO jumps in and he goes, well, obviously we want to give the people that watch his content the ability to own some of the company and be owners in the company. What you want to do is you want to take all the 12-year-olds that watch this trash and you want to pump and dump a stock and dump it on a bunch of 12-year-olds. That is worse than Jeffrey Epstein. That is worse than what Jeffrey did. Jeffrey ruined those children, but you know what he didn't do is financially ruin them. Okay? Your plan is for Mr. Beast Industries to IPO so that a bunch of 13-year-olds, it's weird, so that a bunch of 13-year-olds can go on Robinhood and buy one share of Beast Industries stock. And that's your idea. And that's your plan. Just an utterly, let's jump forward like 5-10 minutes. He's an utterly deranged person. They're all three of them, utterly deranged and terrifying. And the fact that Mr. Beast was able to make an empire, again, I want to emphasize, hopefully if you're listening to this, you don't watch Mr. Beast, okay? I hope I'm not in the same like Venn diagram as Mr. Beast fans, please. If you're a fan of Mr. Beast, please just click away. Honestly, I do not want you. So his videos, again, they're specifically designed to keep you watching, to keep you addicted. It's like, what are some of the other videos I've seen?
He recreated Squid Games. That's my favorite because it's a dystopian world, and he goes, "I want to make that real."
Yeah, no, it's it's insane because he shrouds. He's just, first of all, before we keep going, Mr. Beast, I think we can all agree, is the absolute fucking scumbag of the highest order. He is he doesn't even have blood. He just has human filth and shit going through his body and Adderall. His bloodstream is human shit and Adderall, because what he's done is he's found a way. And honestly, I don't even blame Mr. Beast. I blame everyone that bought into this guy's shtick. Because his whole shtick is, oh, I'm giving you money, so I'm great. Oh, I'm planting trees in Africa. I'm digging wells in Africa, so you can't criticize me. Actually, I can criticize you. Actually, I can. Okay? Just because you dig a well in Nigeria doesn't mean that you're allowed to torture people. It's torture. He tortures people, but it's not torture because they sign a waiver and there's a prize. It's still torture. Like, consent, Mr. Beast it's consenting torture. That's what it's in. That's what it is. But it's okay because people are like, no, I know I'm going to get tortured, so it does not torture. And then we all go, wow, he's so nice. So later on in this interview, I don't have the timestamp, but he goes and he gets asked, I think it's near the end, and Aaron Ross Sorkin, I believe, asks something about some tough questions. And let's jump forward even a little bit more, because after season 1 of Beast Games, which is not the Squid Games thing, but I believe, so we had season 1 of Beast Games was on Amazon Prime. Okay, this is a big ad for Mr. Beast. We are sponsored by Mr. Beast, by the way. In a way, I'm helping him because I'm on YouTube. But Mr. Beast got sued by a bunch of these people that said that they were like, not treated well on season 1 of Beast Games. And the way that they react to these like tough questions is crazy. So let's take a look.
Who is out there that you go, that's the North Star?
Well, let me know if I should move forward or back.
Who's
maybe
doing
forward.
YouTube.
Let's take a look. I think they're near the end.
You're doing all of this, and you said she's cool with it now. She now works for you.
Yeah.
So what did she do for you?
Let's try like 10 minutes. Let's try like 28.
28?
Yeah, 28, something like that. I mean, this whole thing is entertaining. You guys should watch the whole thing.
30-minute videos, you can tell an even better story. You can get people more invested in the brand, leave things in that you normally cut out in like a 6-hour show. And so it just made sense as we're building the production company larger to make longer form content. And it's just that stuff doesn't really do well on
you spent a fortune on the first season.
Yeah, I mean,
to the point where you lost money.
Well, you should probably give them context, because most of them probably don't know what you're talking about. But we did, Beast Games is our competition show. So we had the most contestants in history compete for the largest cash prize in entertainment history, $10 million, and the largest sets in history. So it's basically, we were like, what if we did a competition show, but we just made everything bigger than anything's ever been done, and then times it by 10. So like, for example, we built the city where the contestants literally lived out of. So they literally lived in a city we built. And then every day they would compete, and we dwindled the numbers down for the largest cash prize ever. And so, it was a pretty big undertaking.
So,
and that's
so he goes, what was so amazing about Beast Games is like, we actually built a city. We built a slum. I built a slum. I built, what he should, if he was being honest, he would go, Aaron, are you familiar with the Holocaust? I built like a slum, like a Jew slum. And Beast Games was really interesting because we did it bigger than any other game show. Imagine a normal game show like The Price is Right. You get 3 contestants, and they're all trying to guess the price of a car or a washing machine. I thought, what if we innovated on that? What if we innovated away from that sort of model? And what if I created a slum for like 1,000 people that are probably poor and are desperate for money? And I went in that slum every day and, shot threw water balloons at people. And if you don't get wet, you get to move on. Or like, we would turn the cameras off and I'd piss on them. you know, what if we did a game show where we turn the cameras off and I piss on you and you don't tell anyone because I'll threaten you to kill your family? I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Beast has ordered a hit out on someone. Like, this is a guy who would order a hit out on you and your family and wouldn't think twice about it. And he would get away with it. Mr. Beast could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue, like Trump. Mr. Beast is at the level where he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. So, you know, just look at the set. You know, if you're just listening, it's these three guys that are on glossy white chairs in this beautiful stage with, like, you know, glasses of water. It's very elegant. Everyone's clean. Everyone's shaved. And it's very, very Hunger Games capital city, you know, like, so Jimmy, you built an empire on getting children addicted to the worst trash ever. That's what it is. He goes, so Jimmy, I just want to give a big congratulations. Let's put this on the board. 1 billion subscribers to make Gen Alpha retards. Mr. Beast is solely and singularly culpable in the degradation of the intelligence of an entire generation of people. And that's not an overstatement. Okay? Thank God I made it out. Thank fucking God. Because if I was 10 years younger, I'm already an idiot. Imagine if I'd grown up in Mr. Beast. I sound like a boomer right now. You kids these days. But, you know, sometimes I shit on boomers a lot. Sometimes boomers be spitting. Sometimes boomers are spitting. Sometimes when boomers go kids these days, I'm like, you're kind of right. You're kind of right about kids these days. You know what it is? It's not even kids these days. It's adults these days. Okay? Adults these days, sick, zero integrity, fucking unethical, apathetic, soulless, spiritless, fucking inhuman fucks. I am subscribed. I do like him. Let's keep watching. I think he gets pressed on the lawsuits.
Kind of stuff that, just wouldn't work on YouTube because no one's going there to watch a 10-episode show.
But this, we don't think of it as spend. We think of it as investment.
Yes.
So we built this global audience, Jeff. Where we were
Shut up, Jeff.
We did not spend.
He's learning.
Shut the fuck up, Jeff.
Yes, I invested.
We were number one in over 80.
I invested in a city for the contestants.
And the audience.
Number one show in over 80 countries. And so now
like,
what we've...
Mr. Beast is getting interviewed and they're all laughing and having a good time. That whole audience is laughing, but unbeknownst to them, all the children of that audience are their brain, they have autism. They're laughing at this guy, but Mr. Beast gave Gen Alpha autism. Mr. Beast made $1 billion creating a generation of people that have dyslexia. What's the other one? ADHD. And the way that they frame it is insane because if we can't find the timestamp, that's okay. But basically, there's a portion of this interview where the interviewer asks a question, and then the CEO of Beast Industries, Jeff, he goes, you know, what we're all about is making kindness viral. That's what he says. Can we actually? I would love to find this clip because then we can move on. Because this is one of the most. These are the people that run your life. These are the people that give you control the media. It's actually not the Jews. It's Mr. Beast.
Are we looking for the lawsuits or the kindness?
Let's go for kind. Let's go. If you just Control F on the transcript for like virality, I believe you should be able to find.
Here we go.
Yeah, or Command F. We're on Mac. We're a Mac family, ladies and gentlemen. We love Steve Jobs. Okay, perfect. There it is. So let's watch this part. That was it. You can just go to let's go to 30 minutes. This is crazy, guys. And then we'll move on. But this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
It's weird because there are, I was at I don't even remember why I was at the basketball game for some shoot, but someone afterwards I love Beast Games. And I was like, oh, what, do you like it more than the YouTube channel? And he's like, you do YouTube? I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, but
your head is too big,
it was just and I've had those moments happen a couple
your
times.
Your head is so big.
And typically, obviously, it's people that are a little bit older, and that's what you see. So streaming content still is good too if you want to reach an older demographic.
But what's interesting about, if you think about what our real core competencies are, Jimmy has this innate ability to tell an amazing story that appeals globally. He understands virality, and we have the largest platform, and we incorporate making kindness viral in it, which appeals to Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And so if you go into the ideation room,
what is kind or viral about crashing a train into a giant pit? Tell me, Jeff, CEO of Beast Industries. He goes, we're about making kindness viral. No, you're not. That is not what Mr. Beast is about. You pay people to go sleep deprived and go on hunger strikes. Insane. Honestly, we might get let's not play that because Mr. Beast owns. If we play a Mr. Beast video, he'll kill me. You know, for all the shit I talk about Palantir, Mr. Beast will be the one that puts a hit out on me. And when you hear about my death, Connor, you'll be like, oh my God, was it Palantir? The CIA finally got him, huh? And then he'll be like, no, it was actually Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is probably worse than Epstein. Mr. Beast is a worse person. Okay, this is going to be a crazy take. I think Mr. Beast has done more evil in the world than Jeffrey Epstein. And that's crazy, but hear me out. Because Jeffrey Epstein trafficked, let's even be liberal here. Not that he was liberal. Jeffrey Epstein, let me estimate it that maybe he trafficked, let's be super liberal with this, 1,000 or conservative, whatever. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein trafficked 1,000 underage kids and had them serially raped on his island. That's a reprehensible evil, unforgivable evil. But it's only 1,000 people. Mr. Beast has destroyed the minds of 1 billion people. Mr. Beast has doomed humanity. Mr. Beast has doomed our species. I don't think people understand how bad this guy is. Not even Palantir. Our stock fell over. You know I'm cooking when the stock price of Palantir collapses. It's up today, by the way. Give it up for Palantir. We are sponsored by Palantir. As always, you know that. So this guy goes, what Mr. Beast has always been about is making kindness viral. That is the most empty, vacuous, airheaded corporate bullshit that I've ever heard in my whole life. It is the most fucking, it's classic corporate marketing, media trained. He's a media trained asshole. And that's what you get. That's everything out of these guys' mouths is here's the crazy thing. Everyone that does these kinds of interviews with the New York Times Dealbook Summit or an executive fireside chat. You ever hear of a fireside chat? If you ever go to a fireside chat, you will meet the most evil, reprehensible people, just unforgivable crimes. If you go to a fireside chat with this is like a fireside chat with Goebbels. Mr. Beast is worse than Goebbels. That's how much I hate this guy. Mr. Beast is worse than Goebbels, who was the propagandist for Hitler. Probably on par. I'm going to say on par with Goebbels. So that's it. Let's keep going. I can't really even look at this guy for too long because he really makes me want to vomit. Maybe that could be a video. Watch Sean Reilly. Sean Reilly vomits after. That'll be a Mr. Beast video. Sean Reilly vomits, in all caps, after watching Mr. Beast for 20 minutes. Watch Sean Reilly vomit live after trying to listen to Mr. Beast talk about his company for more than 15 minutes. So let's take a little detour. You can throw the logo back up. I don't want to watch. I'm trying to get away from watching, just making this about reactions because, we're a sophisticated show here. So, something I do want to talk about. We have our next story, kind of a story, but yesterday I spent, I think, 4 hours. I just binged the entire Diddy doc. There's a new Diddy doc. It's the Diddy doc. No, it's not. It's called The Reckoning. And holy shit, I had no idea. I had no idea how bad this guy was. Did you guys know that P. Diddy was like a bad guy? I'm not even being ironic right now. Like, I knew that P. Diddy was like a wife, like he hit women. I didn't know that P. Diddy was like, did you guys know this guy had like $1 billion? Like he was making hundreds of millions of dollars. He did like a partnership with like Ciroc, and he was like, I didn't know this guy was this powerful. And so this doc came out and it was executive produced by 50 Cent, which I thought was very funny. And just a really depressing thing to spend your time doing is, watching P. Diddy just go through his whole life, just being just raping. I mean, he really just spent his entire life doing drugs and filming raping and filming rape and just the worst of the worst. And he looks good though. He's fucking fresh. There and it's interesting because the documentary actually opens with Diddy, and he hired a videographer when he's in Manhattan right before he's arrested, talking to his lawyer about how he can repair his image. And I think the real issue with what Diddy's doing is he's not being forward thinking. He needs to think more like Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? He needs to think if P. Diddy really wanted to rehabilitate his image, he should have hired the Mr. Beast production team. That is how you rehabilitate your image. Is you go you make it a Mr. Beast video. If you make it a Mr. Beast video, it's not bad. That's, I think, what we're learning right now. If P. Diddy wanted to rehabilitate his image, all he has to do is hire Mr. Beast's production company, and then all of his stories suddenly become, P. Diddy? P. Diddy sprays 10,000 bottles of baby oil? And then it's entertainment. P. Diddy sprays 10,000 bottles of baby oil on Cassie? And then it's a thumbnail with his face. It's that's how P. Diddy should have rehabilitated his image. Is he has to get on TikTok. That's what you want to do. You want to control the narrative about yourself. You get on TikTok. You get on Instagram. You do a Zoran Mamdani. You do man on the street content. You do scripted man on the street. Okay? You can be the most evil person in the world, but if you do scripted man on the street content and have a cool thumbnail, you're untouchable. Okay? The FBI, let's say P. Diddy makes a video, 10,000 bottles of baby oil thrown into a pit. That's all he had to do. P. Diddy could have rehabilitated his image if he's just hired Mr. Beast and got them all, and he's like, we dropped 10,000 bottles of baby oil from a crane into a pit, and we crashed a train into that pit. And all the kids watching are like, wow. And then we donated the proceeds to Kenya. You know what? I don't care about Kenya. I'm not saying I don't. Don't clip that up. I care about Kenya. You know what I'm trying to say? Donating to a nonprofit that helps Kenya doesn't excuse the fact that you do crime. And I think people are, that's like a disconnect for a lot of people. A lot of people in the world are truly just dumb fucking people. And they have zero critical thinking skills, and they don't question anything. And those people are Mr. Beast subscribers. The people that don't question the world and they don't ask like why the things are the way they are, those are the people that are religious watchers of Beast games. You understand? Did I watch an episode? Yes. I wasn't into it. I couldn't get into it. Now, what I did get into was the reckoning of Sean. I don't like that his name is Sean, by the way. I'm Sean. Let's so this is interesting. 5 things revealed in the Diddy documentary by 50 Cent.
We got an ad block.
Ooh, that's okay. I'll just read the sub. Sean Combs' The Reckoning turns Combs' own footage against him in a blistering portrait of the disgraced music executive. Now, I mean, it even went like the Tupac. It went to the Tupac's murder and Biggie's murder, and it's just it's been a bad day. It's been a bad week for the world, and it's been a great week for the monsters. The monsters are winning, and that would be my rec. I mean, and what Diddy got like 50 months? It's crazy to me that guy gets 50 months in prison. He should, you know what I mean? Like, what is that, 5 years? Less than 5 years. Pete Diddy gets like 50 months with time served. And he gets off on like 2 prostitution charges. And, you know, he gets to live the rest of his life. And he gets to be free. Meanwhile, his entire life, he just left chaos. You know what I didn't know about Mr. Beast? You know what I didn't know about Mr. Diddy? You know what I did not know about Diddy? Diddy did like an Astro World thing. I had no idea about this. Tell me if I'm crazy, if I'm just like out of touch. But the Diddy documentary opens, and the opening story is about how he had this through this party in this community college gymnasium, and he was so good at marketing it that the crowds like tried to rush the door, and they all rushed into this gymnasium, and 9 people were killed. That happened when Diddy was a young guy. And then he did an Astro World. How do we let this guy do an Astro World? And then he like had a whole career. The City College Stampede, this is crazy. The City College Stampede was a Crowd Crush event. I don't like that it's called Crowd Crush. Crowd Crush sounds too much like Candy Crush. When I think of Crowd Crush, I'm thinking like, is that like a video? Is that like a new app? I love shitty little apps that you just play mindlessly. That is like the Mr. Beast of video games, is like Candy Crush. So the City College Stampede was a crowd crush sounds either like a candy, like a new candy. So it was an event on December 28, 1991 in the City College of New York gymnasium during a charity basketball game organized by P. Diddy and Heavy D. Listen to this. Nearly 5,000 people, that's crazy. 5,000 people tried to pack into the gymnasium, which could fit 2,730 people. The crowd rushed the lobby and down a short staircase that led to the gymnasium. However, the doors at the bottom of the stairs opened inward into the lobby, not outward into the gym. The doors were left closed for 15 minutes as the crowd crush worsened. 9 people were crushed to death at the bottom of the staircase, and 29 were injured. And the worst part was thousands of dollars of baby oil was wasted. Thousands of dollars. So this was in like the early days of Diddy. And he got away with, I mean, I'm not saying like, I mean, you know, I read a story like that where Diddy tried to fit 5,000 people into a gym that only fits 2,700. And, you know, I get really jealous because I'm only selling 20 tickets on the road. I only sell 20 tickets to my comedy shows. I'm like, how can I get a crowd crush going? Can I get a crowd crush? You know what's worse than having a crowd crush at your event is having no one at the show. I'd rather the show get canceled because of a crowd crush. I'm going to regret saying this. I'd rather have a crowd crush than have 10 people there. As a fellow entertainer, I'm going to defend Diddy on this. In defense, that's the episode title. In defense of Diddy. Free Diddy. You know, honestly, if I was there, if I was outside this, if I was after this crowd crush, okay, he did a lot of bad things, but you can't knock him for trying to pack out a show. You can't knock Diddy for trying to pack out a fucking show. That's what I'm trying to do. We're all trying to have, he packed out a show. He was just trying to pack out a show and people died. Okay? Throw him in jail for the rapes and the baby oil, not the crowd crush. Promoter Sean Combs delegated planning to assistants with insufficient experience and failed to purchase the necessary insurance. Well, that's because his assistants were on heroin. His assistants were up-and-coming rappers. His assistants that were running this show, running this event, were members of the Crips. Which, by the way, I'm a fan. I like both. Can I like both? Yeah. So it's if you have not seen the Diddy doc, go check it out because it's tragic, but it's very entertaining. You want to talk about an entertaining piece of content? It's great content. To use the words of Mr. Beast, what Diddy for all of his crimes, it's very the content, the retention on the content is very high. And you gotta give P. Diddy his flowers in that way. Is, you know, we were glued. Our eyes were glued to the screen when we were watching it because I was like, I just had no idea. I had no idea. And so go check it out. We are not sponsored by Netflix, but there's so much trash out. If you're gonna go watch something, don't watch Mr. Beast. Go watch that. So I think we have to do this next. We have to talk about Palantir again because, guys, I'm not forcing the conversation about Palantir. It's just that Alex Karp, the CEO, he keeps doing interviews and he keeps saying crazy shit. He keeps every week he does a new interview. And I listen to it and I'm like, I can't not talk about it. And truly this week has been a gift from God because thank you to the New York Times because this has been just a great week. We just get to look inside the minds of so many psychopaths. So let's get Alex Karp. Step on down, Alex Karp. And we have so many incredible moments from this interview. And we actually have some timestamps for this one, just a few. I don't want to like why, you know. Let's watch a few of the highlights and then we'll just talk about it. But
any place you want to start?
I think on my other doc Google sheet there, I've got a couple.
We should start with Germany.
Let's start with Germany, as always.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. One of the biggest lessons, and just a slight detour to the wonderful and very important country of Germany that is seeming to be crashing its German functionality and competence into a plane, into the ground of political correctness that it somehow can escape for historical reasons. The minute you judge somebody by anything but the issues you agree with. So in Germany, the Green Party and the Socialists have convinced the majority party they can never vote with the far right on immigration. I care about two issues. Okay. I care about immigration and reestablishing the deterrent capacity of America without being a colonialist neocon view. And on those two issues, Those two issues, this president has performed. And those are the two issues I care about.
So what were the issues that you...
This guy rambles and meanders around, and he doesn't I bought his book, by the way. I bought Alex Karp just came out with a book, and it's called Mein Kampf 2. So if you guys don't know, I really recommend you check it out. The CEO of Palantir, Alex Karp, just came out with a book. It's called Mein Kampf 2, The Fourth Reich, The Rise of the Fourth Reich, Palantir. It's called The Fourth Reich. Palantir has... and so he's Alex Karp is anti-immigration. He is about strong borders, and he is about what he really believes in is about, which you'll remember he just said this. He is about reestablishing the deterrent capacity of the United States. Now, what does all that corporate shareholder bullshit mean? It means that he wants the American military to be larger. Now, why does he want the American military to be larger? Because every time the military budget gets bigger, he makes more money. It should be very obvious. He wants the military to be stronger and bigger because if that's the case, he gets to make more money. And he pretends to believe in this nationalist agenda. Okay? You know, he really believes that, like, I want to take a step back here. I really don't understand people that are the vision of the United States culture. You know what I don't understand? And I'm not even trying to be funny. You know what I never understood is that the belief that some people have where they see the United States culture and our values as like this ascendant culture that is like uniquely positioned above every other culture. And that's what Alex Karp believes. There's these guys out there that really believe that like we in the United States, we value free speech more than anyone else. And we value your rights to privacy, and we value your right to own property and to manifest whatever it is. You get a horse or something, I think. That's part of it too. Everyone that loves the US and thinks that the United States is better than every other country, they believe in this thing where it's like life, liberty, and you get like a horse and like a farm. But it's like you don't actually get a horse. You don't, like people believe that, but you look around, it's like, horse riding is like for the wealthy. Okay, it's like, yeah, like we're the United States, and like you know, we believe that like the government should just get the fuck stay out of my fucking way, and everyone gets a horse, and everyone gets a farm. Everyone gets prosperity. And that's the big lie. The big lie is that the United States is this country where free speech is important. And I say this as a comedian. I do think, and I want to be charitable and I want to be fair, I want to be level-headed here. The United States, we are the best in a lot of those ways. We are unique in terms of, I don't want to just be a retard. We are very unique in the sense that we value free speech. We value your ability, and we want to. Our culture does protect the ability for people to say whatever they want, and I will give it to the United States that is an American, in my opinion, a unique American thing. Now, but when you look at it on paper and you compare us to other countries, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know, and this is maybe I'm a leftist shill for China. You can call me a psyop for China, but I'm going to say something a little crazy. You can call me a psyop for China, but I'm just going to come and you can disagree with me, and you're welcome to disagree with me. But I don't know if free speech in the ability to speak freely in the United States, I don't know if it's worth it with all of the stuff that comes with it. I don't know if it's worth it anymore. You know what? If the government is like, hey, shut the fuck up about that one or those two things, but here's some free health care, I'd be like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know. It's a give and take. It's a pro, it's a con. Okay? We live in a country where you can say whatever you want until the unmarked van throws you get thrown into an unmarked van and sent to Venezuela. That's the craziest thing about all these guys when they're like, all these guys say like, the US is the only culture where we are radically pro free speech, private property, right to privacy, right to own a gun, until you're standing outside a Home Depot and you're speaking Spanish. Sorry, I think you're going to have to go to Somalia. ¿Por qué? I don't know por qué. I'm sorry, Josue, you're going to Somalia. Mia, no quiero hablar con la policía. I'm sorry, Josue. Have you heard of Somalia? Have you heard of Sudan? So they're sending all of these. So and that's the whole irony of the CEO of Palantir talking about how he loves American culture. The CEO of Palantir does all these interviews, like with the New York Times, where he's like, the United States culture is the best culture. We value meritocracy and free speech and equality. And he says he loves that culture. Meanwhile, his company is contracting with ICE, which is the institution and the agency that is destroying the fabric of that very culture, violating your rights, your First and your Second and your Fourth Amendment right. So do you really care about that culture? Or do you like that sweet ICE contract? Do you like to be iced out? I don't think Alex Karp gives a shit about America. I think he likes to be iced the fuck out when he's getting his back blown out by Peter Thiel. I think what was really going on is I think Alex Karp, when he's getting fucked in the ass by Peter Thiel, I think he likes to have some ice around his neck. I think he likes to have some diamonds bouncing up and down, okay? I think he likes to, when Peter Thiel and Alex Karp are on hot coals and they're having at the white party, at a Diddy white party, I think they like to have some ice on their neck, okay? Which I can't fault them for, but let's do it the right way, guys. Let's not. And I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for entrepreneurs. I have a lot of respect for entrepreneurs that want to start businesses. But my respect for you ends immediately if your business is a government contractor, because starting a business that contracts with the government is cheating. That's cheating. You are not being an entrepreneur if your whole business is we're going to suck money out of the taxpayer budget. We're going to suck money from the government. That's not a business, okay? That is a cartel. If your customer is the government, you are joining a cartel. You are joining a cadre of idiots and people that don't care. You understand? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Steve Jobs, that was an entrepreneur, okay? That man lived his life in a way he believed in what he was building, okay? Built a company. Maybe he contracted with the government later on, but he built it on his own, and I respect that. And then he also allowed himself to die from cancer that was curable. I want to say this. People that think Steve Jobs is a genius, let me just ask you this. Would a genius allow themselves to be killed by a curable form of cancer? Is that something a genius would do? Is it genius to get diagnosed with cancer and then go do yoga? Because that's what he did. Steve Jobs got diagnosed with cancer, and then he was like, oh, you know how I'm going to try and fight this cancer? I'm not going to do chemotherapy or any of that mainstream bullshit. I'm going to go do yoga, and I'm going to drink apricot juice. And I'm going to go to a psychic. Steve Jobs went to a psychic, And the psychic was like, cancer is a mindset, Steve. You're fine. And he was like, thank you. So let's watch this a couple more timestamps because I have a whole list. Can you read off the list? Because I think there's some fun ones and some not so fun ones.
Yep. We got Palantir surveillance and database tracking, Israel government maximum violence. If the Democrats ran someone who agreed with me privately, they would win. U.S. government dyslexia.
Okay, let's do if the Democrats ran someone privately, they would win. This is crazy. This is why you guys watch this show, because I actually watch the entire interview and I pick out the craziest shit. Listen to what the CEO of Palantir has to say about the Democrats. Okay, because this should scare all of you.
I will tell you something else that's true. If the Democrats, my former party or current party, or however you want to look at it, ran someone who agreed with me, even in private, they would win. So, maybe you should stop winning in the faculty lounges and start winning. We have a saying we're apparently not supposed to say anymore, but we.
So he goes, if the Democrats ran someone that agreed with me privately, they would win. So what are you saying that you can influence the election? Are you saying that you decide? It sounds like you're implying that if the Democrats run someone that bows down to you, that they're going to win. That makes me think you control the elections, Alex. It makes me think that you're tacitly admitting that you control the elections. Now, throughout this whole interview, he sits up and down in his chair. It's like he has to take a shit. Alex Karp always looks like he has to take a massive shit.
He's got a death grip on those handles.
He does. That chair is worse than Cassandra. That chair is being treated worse than Cassandra from Pete Diddy's former lover. So yeah, I mean it's a really, there's so much more to this interview that we don't have time for, and it's just, to be honest, not worth anyone's time. But it's a crazy time to be alive. It really is. What are we at, Connor? We got an hour.
Time-wise, we're just under an hour here.
Okay. I want to make sure the Patreon subscribers also get what they deserve, which is nothing, because I have none. No, I'm kidding. Let's end on something a little fun. We'll do one more. If you guys are not subscribed to the Patreon and you're still listening to my voice, it helps a lot. Please get on the Patreon. I do an extra between a half hour and an hour every week. And we go and we do a deep dive on all of these subjects that truly need to be analyzed. I wish I had a whole team. I wish I had Mr. Beast's resources. If I had Mr. Beast's resources, I'd be making videos that are I would make an Alex Karp documentary. You know what I mean? I would do a whole documentary on Alex Karp, and I'd make it engaging. I would do a video where it's Alex Karp, the most evil man in the world, and then halfway in and be we also crashed a train into a pit. That's honestly, Mr. Beast made $1 billion just by telling kids, I crashed a train into a pit. And he didn't even it was all CGI. It's not even real. All he did is he was I paid a guy to do CGI of a train crashing into a pit, and everyone thinks he's this genius. I don't think Mr. Beast is a genius. You know who's a genius? Kai Cenat. You guys don't even know. I'm 29. Let me ask you guys something. I'm 29. Does it make me a pedophile to know who Kai Cenat is? Because I'm just being real. That's kind of what it feels like I'm a 29-year-old man. For me to even be aware of IShowSpeed and Kai Cenat, it's a little bit of a red flag. That's how online I am, is I'm talking about Kai Cenat and all these young celebrities. Those are the new famous people. So let's wrap it up with something fun. What do we have else on our docket, Connor?
We've got death strikes.
Oh, the Pete Hegseth. That was the top story.
Yeah. Do we want to?
Have we not talked about that? Oh,
no.
Shit. Okay, so
that sounds fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun for some people. It was fun for some people, not so fun for others. So, oh my God, I can't believe we fucking missed this. So, if you're, what's so crazy is I was doing some jokes about this, about these airstrikes on these Venezuelan boats, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking retarded? Like, are you watching Mr. Beast?" I'm like, I talk about these Venezuelan airstrikes with people, and they're like, "What are you even talking about? We're hitting Venezuela boats off the coast of Venezuela? Like, I didn't know that was happening." I'm like, "Can you stop watching okay, finish the Diddy doc, but then read about the Venezuelan boats, please. Don't watch Mr. Beast. Okay, go like blow up a house. Read about the Venezuelan boats getting airstriked." So if you're not up to speed, I'll get you up to speed real quick here. This is an insane story. So Pete Hegseth, who is the Secretary of the Department of War Crimes, that's what I call it now. I call it the Department of War Crimes because that is pretty much their MO. They have been very busy. They've been very busy airstriking boats with alleged, and I want to emphasize the word alleged, narco-terrorists. And if you're an alleged narco-terrorist, then that means you've been found guilty. That is the real culture of the United States. People like to think we all have a right to a free trial. That's what these guys would like to tell you. That is the ultimate hypocrisy of the current Trump administration. All these defense contractors and military CEOs and military leaders is they go. I really want to highlight this. The main hypocrisy of the Trump administration, the Department of War, military contractor executives, they talk about how they are a champion. They champion the Constitution and the values that the United States is purportedly founded on, which is equality, innocent till proven guilty, right to a trial. Okay? And then what do they do all day? They send Tomahawk missiles into little boats full of alleged narco-terrorists that are summarily executing boats, little tiny boats. And hey, if the boats are actually filled with drug traffickers with barrels of fentanyl, I'm not saying that these guys are saints. I'm not saying that getting on a boat in Venezuela and hitting the fucking gas on a speedboat with a barrel of fentanyl makes you a great guy. I'm not saying that these guys are fucking volunteering. They're not volunteers. They're not volunteering at the old folks' home. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. But what I am calling into question is that we are, which I've been doing, by the way, I was doing this for a month. I was talking about the Venezuelan boats a month ago, and people came criticized. They disagreed with me, which I welcome. They were like, "Sean, how can you be defending narco-terrorists?" That's what they said to me. I defended the boats. I was like, hey, does anyone else think it's crazy that the Department of War is just sending missiles from the sky and destroying these boats and killing these people when we didn't give them a trial? And all these guys came at me and they go, "You're a leftist cuck. You're a leftist cuck. Of course you would come out of the woodwork. You're a Brooklyn, non-binary, leftist cuck Jew. Of course you would defend the narco-terrorists that want to bring fentanyl. Of course the leftist cuck. You fucking leftist cuck. You're defending the narco-terrorists? Wait till someone you love overdoses on fentanyl. Then I bet you won't be defending. I bet you'll be cheering on our military sending a Tomahawk missile onto a fishing boat. Hey, they go, you know what? We sent Tomahawk missiles into the fishing boats in Venezuela. Even if only one of those boats is filled with narco-terrorists, it'll have been worth it. Because you know how much fentanyl that would have been? You know how many people would have died of fentanyl overdoses? And wait a minute. So you don't want the fentanyl coming into the United States because it's dangerous. But you also want, isn't it a choice? Is doing fentanyl, isn't your whole thing that you like choice? So wait, fentanyl is like you're saying fentanyl is like this bioweapon that is like uncontrollable. But I thought you guys were like all about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. I thought that you guys, aren't you the guys that are like, you know, like if you're a fucking drug addict, you're a fucking loser and it's not my fucking problem. Okay. So which is it? Is it that you think that fentanyl is a social problem that needs government intervention? Right? So it's like you don't want fentanyl coming into the United States. But the people that are currently addicted to fentanyl are like losers that are like welfare queens. So you want to hit the fentanyl boats, but once it's in but if you do get it into the United States, it's like fair play. Of course, the leftist cucks defending the narco-terrorists on the Venezuelan boats that are trafficking fentanyl. We don't know for 100% with 100% certainty that they're narco-terrorists. You know who the real narco-terrorists are? Pfizer executives. The real narco-terrorists in the world, it's not 3 Venezuelan guys with a barrel of cocaine or fentanyl, whatever it is. Okay? It's the CEO of Purdue Pharma. If the Department of War really wanted to bend the arc of history and stop narco-terrorism, they would not be flying drones off the coast of Venezuela. They would be flying drones over Purdue Pharma HQ. That's where they'd be flying the drones. And as soon as the executives of Purdue Pharma get into the parking lot, they go, you're clear to engage. You're Alpha 909, you're clear to engage. You know what I want to see? You know what would make me jizz in my pants? Is I want to see drone footage of a drone like hyper zooming into like the CFO of Purdue Pharma. You want to stop narco-terrorism in America? Get a drone, fly it over Johnson & Johnson. Fly it over Purdue Pharma and get that drone to triple zoom in on the CFO and be like, you're clear to engage with the narco-terrorist. Do it when they're pitching a fucking opioid. It's too late. Purdue Pharma, if you're unfamiliar, was the company that worked with McKinsey to help to push opioids across the country and manufacture a crisis, an opioid crisis. That is not, Venezuela is not the cause of the opioid crisis, of drug overdoses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people overdose on fentanyl. Sometimes it comes from Mexico. Okay, but I'm getting off track. I got a little crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. But the story now, people are finally, sometimes I'm right. I'm starting to sound like Alex Karp. I'm starting to sound like a CEO. Sometimes I'm right and everyone else is fucking wrong. Sometimes I'm right and I'm early. Sometimes I'm fucking early and I'm right. And in this story, I'm just going to say, I think I'm early and right. Because finally, people are waking up. And after 19 boats, or however many, they hit 19 boats with a Tomahawk missile, and those were all fine. But finally, on the 20th one, this is finally getting coverage that maybe It's a war crime. And this is an insane story. So Pete Hegseth and his entire administration, they are finally coming under criticism. And it's actually crazy that the way that the media is framing this, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, here was the headline. They go, hey, the second airstrike on the boat. So they hit the boat and the boat was destroyed. And then there were survivors from the first missile. And then what happened is that they hit him again when they were drowning. And the media is saying that the second missile might be a war crime. What about the first strike and the 19 boats that have already been hit in the last month? That was all fine. That was all by the book. That was all by the book. The first 19 boats that were hit with the Tomahawk, whatever, missiles, those are not war crimes. If you hit a boat once, that's by the book. But if they're drowning and you hit them again, no. You can't do that. Because according to the rules of engagement, you know, all these military admirals, they're such fucking nerd loser bureaucrats. They go, well, if it's a vessel in the sea, a vessel in the sea is fair game. But if you hit the boat and your enemies are drowning, you gotta go rescue them. That is a lose-lose. Say it with your full fucking chest, which is kind of what Pete Hegseth is doing. Pete Hegseth is saying the rules of engagement are stupid. And I agree with him, but in the opposite direction. Pete Hegseth says the rules of engagement are stupid. I should be able to hit anyone I want to with a Tomahawk missile any amount of times. And I kind of am I kind of have a different viewpoint. I go, hey, I don't think anyone should get hit with a Tomahawk missile until they have a trial. Which is kind of that maybe I'm crazy. So let me get this straight. I'm a leftist cuck because I think it's a war crime that we're just hitting boats with Tomahawk missiles. That makes me a leftist cuck. So I'm a leftist cuck because I think that sending a drone off the coast of Venezuela and sending a Tomahawk missile onto an alleged gang of narco-terrorists, keyword being alleged. Do you guys know what that word means? The word alleged means that you haven't been found guilty of that crime yet. Well, let's be practical, Sean. Military intelligence shows us that they clearly want to send fentanyl to Florida. Well, you know what? Maybe Florida could use a little fentanyl. Maybe Florida can use a little bit of fentanyl. They need to fucking chill out. Okay? So that's where they're at. And I think it's insane how the media is framing it, where they're like, look, this follow-on airstrike on the boat, on the alleged narco-terrorists, may be at some point in the future, when we've all forgotten about this, could potentially be a tiny war crime. That's what they're going. They go, the media is going, hey, you know how we're hitting these boats in Venezuela? Well, there's some lawmakers that think that the second airstrike on the Venezuelan boat could potentially 10 years from now, after a long trial and everyone's moved on, could be a little tiny misdemeanor war crime. Could be a tiny, it's a tiny war crime. It's a little bitty tiny, no one needs to worry about it, war crime. It's a war crime, but it's like tiny. Hey, and that's how, like, but if that story is not, that's their narrative, and it's not working out for them. The narrative is, hey, you guys know how we're, nuking these narco terrorists in the ocean? Yeah. Well, apparently the DOJ thinks that, like, it could be a war crime. It's like, they can't even say the words. They're like, have you guys thought that, the DOJ, like, how we've been, like, killing these guys with these fishermen? How we've been Tomahawk missiling these fishermen? I know they're not fishermen, but it is funny to say. But that's the thing. They could be fishermen. But the Post report that the first boat was struck. Listen to this. The first boat was struck a second time, killing a pair of survivors, prompting calls for investigations and concerns in Congress that the follow-up strike may have constituted a war crime. So am I stupid that like the second one is being looked at as a potential war crime, and the first one is like, yeah, fucking hit him. So that is the position of the administration, is they go, you get one. Hey, if there's a narco-terrorist boat, you get one. You get one. Not two. One, you're a hero. One airstrike on the Venezuelan boat, you're a military hero. You get a medal of honor. Two airstrikes, you're kind of a war criminal. Okay, I guess so. But you know what? You know who's worse than Pete Hegseth? Mr. Beast. The only guy that's worse than Pete Hegseth and P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein combined is Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson. Senor Beast, may you burn in hell, and I will see you there. Guys, please continue to support us. Like the show on YouTube. Comment on YouTube. Let me know what you think, because I'm shouting into the fucking void right now. If you're still listening, make a comment. Review the show on Spotify. It helps so much if you just review the fucking show on Spotify, for the love of fucking Christ. Please. I'm dying up here. Follow the show on Spotify. And then after that, I want you to go to patreon.com/Sean's Show. Check it out. We do so much extra content. I'm talking like Mr. Beast now. Bonus episodes on Patreon every week. Just $5 a month.
It's viral kindness.
We are spreading viral. I'm spreading viral hatred. Mr. Beast is spreading viral kindness. I'm spreading viral hatred. And every dollar you put into the Patreon, I actually send to the IDF. So that's always good.
Are you pulling the train out of the pit?
That's right. We have a crane, and we take the train out of the pit, and we drop it on a Venezuelan boat. That's what we do. And the last thing I want you to do is go to seanreillycomedy.com for all of my upcoming stand-up comedy tour dates. I'm going to be in Dallas, I'm going to be in San Antonio, and I'm going to be in Columbus. So please come see a live show where we have fun. So that's the show. See you on the Patreon. Have a great week. Bye.